Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nitai Caitanya Chandra Nitai Gaura Chandra Gaura Hari. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari Radhe. Jaya Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajikacharya Astotara Satta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajikacharya Astotara Satta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Sadgosai Prabhu's Ki Jai. Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh, Hare Krishna. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Gangamayi Munamayi Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the divine lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदा जमुना तीर बनचारी जमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा जय श्री हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गौर भक्तवृंद जय गौर भक्तवृंद जय गौर भक्तवृंद जय गौर भक्तवृंद जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाजकचर्य सुतोतर सतेज डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसे भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव विंद की जय नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय श्री श्री राधा नीला माधव की जय श्री श्री राधा गिरिधारी की जय श्री श्री गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय गौर भक्तविंद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल All glories to assemble devotee, Hare Krishna. All glories to assemble devotee, Hare Krishna. All glories to assemble devotee, Hare Krishna. All glories to lotus feet of Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hari Hari Bol. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Tamal Krishna Goswami Iti Namine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 9, The Lord Begs Charity from Bali Maharaj. So, we discussed the other day Srinivas Prabhu was giving class, then Radha Krishna Prabhu was giving class, then yesterday Sarang Thakur Prabhu was giving class. So we talked about this pastime, right? How did we get here? That was the question, right? Who has the microphone? Okay, you have to tell us, how did we get here?
But Bali Maharaj was fighting, he lost his life, Sukracharya came back to his life, he was completely surrendered to his spiritual master, and they fight the demigods, and the demigods were completely, well, he didn't even need to fight the demigods were just defeated by his presence, I guess.
Demigod just ran away.
Just run away.
Yeah.
Just run away, and so the demons got the power, and the wife of Kashyapa Muni, Aditi was very somehow.
Aditi is the mother of the demigods.
Aditi is the mother of the demigods.
Right.
And she, I don't know, was very upset about this, I guess, wanted their son to have their position back. And so he approached his husband, which considered somehow his spiritual master as well, and she told him her heart and her desire to have, and Kashyapa Muni here listened to her and suggested to do a sacrifice. Well,
sacrifice to do
a yagya, what is called like
vrata. What the name was the vrata?
Payovrata. 12 days of not eating.
Prabhu explained very nicely, right? No, you go ahead.
Yes. And so 12 days, yes, very, very nicely described by Prabhu. 12 days of just drinking milk.
Milking milk, right.
And so eventually, she was very, she did this, and she did very nicely, this started very nicely, and so I guess also Kashyapa Muni was satisfied, and for the grace of the Lord, now Vamanadeva is arriving.
Vamanadeva is arriving, and Sarang Thakur Prabhu yesterday very nicely described that how when he arrived, he was the Supreme Lord, not like us. Right?
Four-handed.
Yeah. So that's where we are. And today's chapter, he says, the Lord begs charity from Bali Maharaj. Right? So the Lord, Vamanadeva, came to the assembly of Bali Maharaj, and he was very effulgent. Naturally, he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so everybody was attracted to him. And what did he ask? Who has the other microphone? What did the Lord ask from the Vamanadeva?
Just 3 steps of land.
3 steps of land. Right? And what did Vamanadeva say? So that is the chapter, today's chapter. What did Vamanadeva say? Vamanadeva said, I own the 3 worlds, upper planetary system, this middle planetary system, and the lower planetary systems. You are a young boy, you don't know how to ask for it. I'm sorry, Bali Maharaj said that, right? Bali Maharaj says that, you don't know what you are asking. You are a little boy, and I can give you anything. I can give you something where rest of your life you don't have to ask from anybody. Why you are asking for something 3 steps of land? And that also your steps. He said, you're a little boy, you got little steps, So this is something Bali Maharaj was thinking, that there's a little boy. And that's when the Lord started saying that one should be satisfied with what one has. And one get according to their karma whatever they deserve. And they should be satisfied with it. Shukracharya realized that, wait a minute, this boy is a little boy, but he started talking deep philosophy. So he can't be the ordinary boy. So he would refuse. He would advise to his disciple, Bali Maharaj, that please don't give. He said he realized that this is a Vishnu, and what Vishnu is going to do, take everything away from you and give it to your enemy, Indra. And you're going to lose everything. And he said, not only that, in 2 steps he will take everything, you won't be able to even give 3rd step. So you're going to break your promise anyway. You won't be able to give 3 steps. Just by 2 steps you give, and the 3rd step you have promised but you can't give, it means that you are not going to be able to fulfill the promise. Then why give from the beginning? Right? So at the end of the chapter there were a couple of verses, even though we are going to do the verse number 24, right? It's verse number 24. But at the end of the chapter, Shukracharya is saying something from the Vedic literature. He is saying on text number 37, therefore one who is in the full knowledge should divide his accumulated wealth in 5 parts: for religion, for reputation, for opulence, for sense gratification, and for maintenance of his family members. Such a person is happy in this world and in the next. So he's advising why you are giving. You can give 1/5, right? Because that's according to the Vedic understanding. He said 1/5 you can give. But here you are trying to give everything and still you won't be able to satisfy your promise. You might as well don't give. And then he also says that where are the promise where you cannot keep? Or it's okay to lie a little bit. Do you remember that verse? I'm sorry? Yeah, that he also said just say Om, and by saying Om you are fulfilling the, okay, it's in our 43rd verse. Okay, let's see, 43rd verse. This is quite interesting because we see it that, okay. So in the last verse of this chapter, Shukracharya is advising, in flattering a woman to bring her under control, so we can see this is what is going on in today's world anyway. To bring woman under the control, you are lying. You are saying things which are not true. That's one. Number 2, if you are joking, so you can say, I was just joking. Right? Shukracharya is telling his own disciple, you can just, I was just joking that, yeah, you can have it, whatever you want. But and then, in marriage ceremony, I mean, we are from India, you know how the arranged marriage work, right? Right? I mean, you know, sometimes the girl is not good looking, but somebody would go, her father would go and say, my daughter is very good looking, you know, and with your son will be perfect couple, right? Or sometimes they say, yeah, my daughter See, already graduated. He don't say graduated from 10th grade, 12th grade or college or whatever it is, right? Or sometimes they would say, yeah, she is about 5'2". She's actually 4'11". A couple of inches here and there, like that. So here he says, in marriage ceremony, yeah, you can lie a little bit. What he says, in earning one's livelihood, well, that's happened every day, right? Earning one's livelihood, Srila Prabhupada says that many times people say, for you, I'm not making any money. Prabhupada said that the businessman would say, for you, I'm not making any money. And Prabhupada said it means he must be making money. So, and when one's life is in danger, you have to say some things which are not totally true. Who said that? What is the perfect example? Vasudeva. Yeah, I remember Radha Govinda Maharaj was giving class here in Gauranga Hall and he said, वो भगवान का बाप भी झूठ बोला. He says that Lord's father also sometimes say half truth. He said, I'll bring you all the sons and everything, and what did he do with the 8th son? He didn't bring. So it says that when one's life is in danger, you can lie. Protecting cows and Brahminical culture, you can lie. Or in protecting a person from the enemy's hand. So these are the example Shukracharya is giving, that you can lie, you can say, just back out. Because he just said, what did Bali Maharaj said? I'll give you whatever you want. However, he was ready to take water and give the promise, yes, I will fulfill that promise, whatever the 3 steps you are asking. So he said, you haven't even promised yet. So just backtrack it. Anyway, so here in verse number 24 is describing, we'll read anyway, so Yadarachayopapannena santusto vartate sukham nasantustastribiloker ajitatmopasaditaha. Maybe you want to read? I may be mispronouncing.
Yadrichayopapannena santushto vartate sukham na santushtastribhirlokair
ajitatmopasaditaihi. What is your daughter's name? You can read, please. Yadrichayopapannena santusto vartate sukham triviloke hitatma prasaditai. Anyone else? Yadrichayopapannena santusto vartate sukham manastatu tribiloke chitatmo pasaditai. Yadrichayopapannena Santusto vartate sukham. Na santusta stribe loker. Ajitatmo pasaditai. Okay, word-to-word translation. Yadachaya, as offered by the Supreme Authority according to one's karma. Upapanena, by whatever is obtained. Santustaha, one should satisfied. Vartate, there is. Sukham, happiness. Na, not. Asantustaha, one who is dissatisfied. Tribihi loke, even by possessing the three worlds. Ajita Atma, one who cannot control his senses. Upasaditai, even though obtained. Okay. Somebody can read translation?
Whatever he achieves by his previous destiny, for discontent can never bring happiness. A person who is not self-controlled will not be happy even with possessing the three worlds.
Okay. Purport, somebody can read.
If happiness is the ultimate goal of life, one must be satisfied with the position in which he is placed by providence. This instruction is also given by Prahlad Maharaj. Sukham andriyakam detaya deha yogena dehinam sarvatra labhite devida yatha dukkham ayantaha. My dear friends, born of demonic families, the happiness perceived with reference to the sense objects by contact with the body can be obtained in any form of life, according to one's past putative activities. Such happiness is automatically obtained without endeavor, just as we obtain distress. This philosophy is perfect in regard to obtaining happiness. Real happiness is described in Bhagavad Gita 6.21. Sukham atyantikam yat tad buddhi grahayam atantidriyam vati yatra na chevayam satyasya chalati tatvaha. In the spiritually joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness and enjoys himself through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth. One has to perceive happiness by the super senses. The super senses are not the senses of the material elements. Every one of us is a spiritual being, aham brahmasmi, and every one of us is an individual person. Our senses are now covered by material elements, and because of ignorance, we consider the material senses that cover us to be our real senses. The real senses, however, are within the material covering. Dehunasmin yatha dehe. Within the covering of the material elements are the spiritual senses. Sarvopadidya vinimuktakam tad paratvetna nilamam. When the spiritual senses are uncovered by these senses, we can be happy. Satisfaction of the spiritual senses is thus described. Rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. When the senses are engaged in devotional service to Rishikesh, then the senses are completely satisfied. Without this superior knowledge of sense gratification, one may try to satisfy his material senses, but happiness will never be possible. One may increase his ambition for sense gratification and even achieve what he desires for the gratification of his senses, but because this is on the material platform, he will never achieve satisfaction and contentment. According to Brahmanical culture, One should be content with whatever he obtains without special endeavor and should cultivate spiritual consciousness. Then he will be happy. The purpose of Krishna consciousness movement is to spread this understanding. People who do not have scientific spiritual knowledge mistakenly think that the members of the Krishna conscious movement are escapists trying to avoid material activities. In fact, however, we are engaged in the real activities for obtaining the ultimate happiness in life. If one is not trained to satisfy the spiritual senses and continues in material sense gratification, he will never obtain happiness that is eternal and blissful. Srimad Bhagavatam 551 therefore recommends, Tapodevam putraka yena sattvam shuddhayad yasmad brahmaha sukhyam tam anantam. One must practice austerity so that his existential position will be purified and he will achieve unlimited blissful life.
Thank you. Om Jnanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vayayevacha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So it's very nicely described by the Supreme Lord that one should be happy with whatever one gets by his karma, right? We all have our own karma and we enjoy or suffer according to that. Many times we try to, Srila Prabhupada always says that eating, sleeping, mating and defending. And this defending is the one that we are trying to defend by accumulation of wealth or have a good insurance, right? We defend with, if anything happened to me, there is plenty of money or whatever. However, when one's karma is not proper, they will not be able to enjoy. And sometimes the person would get immense benefit without the good karma. Is it possible? That's what we think, that without the good karma he is enjoying. Because his karma sounds like a bad karma, how is he enjoying? But previously he has done some good karma, so he is reaping the benefit. So no one can say that karma is not, doesn't matter. So many times people we see, right, how do we know who has seen the next life? How do you know what was in the last life? One may ask so many questions. However, we have seen in this life that there are so many people, they hardly do anything and still they are happy. Two kinds of people. One who is a very satisfied person, that they are happy because they are satisfied. And the one who is happy because of the past karma, that they are getting happiness or they are getting material so-called happiness. So in this world, it is very difficult to be happy without Krishna consciousness. That's what Krishna is, Vaman Dev is here pointing. That if one is happy with their own situation, then they become happy. And what is the, Srila Prabhupada used the word, super consciousness? What is the super? Senses, super senses, right? Super senses. What is that super senses? Anyone? What is the super senses? Can you give him the microphone, please? Give it to Prabhu.
We have Krishna's senses.
Super senses is Krishna's senses.
Or yeah, we would satisfy Krishna's senses. The soul also has senses, but they're meant for satisfying Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah, so super senses are Krishna's senses, or the individual senses which are engaged in the Krishna's senses, serving the Krishna's senses. Rishikesha Rishikena Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Here it's Srila Prabhupada is quoting. So unless one is engaged their senses in Krishna's senses, one cannot become happy. Right? And Srila Prabhupada also says that many times people say that devotees are escapist, right? They want to escape from responsibility, or a good citizen, or a contributing citizen, right? So if you are not contributing in their eyes, then you are wasting your time, or you are you are dependent on the society, parasite, right? So then you are just utilizing the resources of the society without contributing anything. However, the best contribution is that one can engage the other living entity in Krishna's service. That is the best satisfaction. In the Vedic literature, it says that there are three things that one should always be satisfied with, and there are three things then one should not be satisfied with it. Right? There are three things one should be satisfied with, is that one's spouse or one's partner in the life. Whatever according to our karma, we get the life partner. One should understand that it doesn't happen by chance. This is according to our previous activity, previous karma, we get I remember Radha Govind Maharaj was saying that there are three things that you get it according to previous karma. The first thing is your birth. You get the birth in a particular family, a particular place. It is because of your previous karma. And he says that your partner, your spouse, you get according to the previous karma. And he says your death is also according to the previous karma. So this is something you cannot change it. So Vedic scripture, I was listening Mahavishnu Maharaj, the elderly who passed away, he was from Gujarat. But he was saying that you cannot get spouse without your previous karma. You may try anything you want to try, but it's not possible. Then he said you cannot get money or wealth unless you have a karma for it. Right? Some people has a karma, they just make money like hands over fist. There is nothing that they have to special endeavor for it. And the third thing you should be satisfied with is the food or prasadam you get. The prasadam is on your plate should give you satisfaction, because that is what you're supposed to get. Unless you are a devotee, then devotee gets, Krishna take care of it. Right? I mean, a brahmachari can say better than I do. Because Krishna provides, right? So, the food on the plate, one should be satisfied with it. Because sometimes we have a habit, we just eat and say, everything was very nice, Only little achar was there, it would be perfect. Or maybe little papad was there, or something, you always have. That's a dissatisfaction you have, that everything is fine, then why worry about that small little thing? So one should be satisfied. And one should not be satisfied with three things in the life. One should not be satisfied with the japa, chanting, or doing devotional activities. One should not be satisfied with it. Yeah, bahut kiya, ab kya kare. No, you continue doing it. Not that you have done so much or too much. There is no such a thing as too much. Jai Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhav Radha Giridhari Giriraj Govardhan Gaur Nitai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So one should never feel satisfaction of doing devotional service. Yes, satisfaction should be there, but it should not be like that, oh, I have done enough, or I have done too much. The other thing is that one should not be satisfied with the study of the Shastras. Right? When, so many times we read, and when you read it again, you don't even remember that you read it before. You keep getting something new out of the Shastra. So one should not be satisfied with the study of the Shastra. And the last thing one should not be satisfied with, anyone can guess? Yes? Charity. Yes, one should not be satisfied with charity. You can never give enough charity. Of course, we know that charity is in the 3 different modes. We should be in the giving in the mode of goodness or in the transcendental mode to the devotee of the Lord, and the purpose of building a temple or the preaching purpose, So one should utilize for transcendental activities. But one should never think that, I have given too much charity, or even think that I have given charity. So one should never be satisfied by this charity giving also. The material happiness or material hankering will never satisfy us. Right? I have said one story in the past also, maybe some of you might have not heard it. One time one man went to the Narada Muni and he says, can you give me material benefit, I need something. And Narada Muni said, I'm a sannyasi, I don't have anything. I myself have nothing, I just go Narayan, go everywhere and He said, but I'll give you a little note to Kuvera, who is the demigod's treasurer. So Narada Muni gave him a note, so he went there and he gave it to Kuvera. And Kuvera said, oh, Narada Muni sent some note. He was very happy. He looked at it and he said, give this person some material thing he is asking for. So the Kuvera says that, oh, Narada Muni recommended and you came to the right place. Tell me what you need. So same thing like the Lord says here. He says that I have this small bowl, you just fill it up. He said, that's all you want? You came to the treasurer of the demigod. You just want that much? He said, yeah. So Kuvera told his servant, he said, go and take him to our treasury. Whatever he wants, just give him in his bowl. And so that man says that, oh, thank you very much, sir. And they went there and he said, give me that, give me that, give me that. And they say, oh, you want all this? You have a small bowl. He said, okay, just put it in there. So he started putting in there. The bowl wasn't filling up. So then the servant went to the Kuvera and said, what this guy is, I'm giving everything and he's just still not filling up. He said, well, we promise whatever he wants, give him. So he went back and he asked again. He just keep filling, and nothing, everything is, the whole Kuvera's treasury is gone. So he came back, and he said, what happened? So suddenly Narada Muni came. So Kuvera says that, I'm sorry, sir, but who did you send this guy? He asked for the bowl full of jewelries or whatever. When we are trying to give him everything, he is not getting filled up. So Narada Muni said, let me see your bowl. So he looked at the bowl, it was a human skull. So naturally the skull don't get filled, we don't get satisfied. No? Why you are laughing? It's a microphone.
No, Prabhu, it's true.
It's true? You won't get satisfied?
No, I will get satisfied.
Oh, you will get satisfied. Good. Thank you, because you are a devotee. Yeah, the devotee can get satisfied. The non-devotee won't get satisfied. So we can see that how is it possible for a person to get satisfied? They want more and more and more. Right? I also said the joke in the past that, Elon Musk, right now he is the richest guy. Anyway, in Twitter he may lose some money, but whatever it is. So Elon Musk he died, he went to the heaven, right? In Christian, you go to the heaven or hell. In heaven you be happy all the time, and in hell you burn eternally. Anyway, he went there, and the Lord says that, oh, you did this, you did that, Many did wrong thing, you fired so many Twitter employees. So I say, okay. But I did something good also, I gave employment to so many people, and at the end of my life, I decided to donate all my wealth for a good purpose, and said, okay. So, all right, so you have done so many good things also. So you, whatever you want to, what do you want? He said, my Lord, the real thing is that you are sitting on my chair. So he wasn't satisfied with what he had. He wants to have what Lord has. So this is the mentality person has. They never become satisfied. They always want more. So here Krishna or Vamandev is saying that one should be satisfied. I'll be satisfied with the 3 pieces of land. I know that you can give me anything I want, but I don't want anything. Only thing I want is just 3 steps of land. And when his Guru Maharaj says that don't give him, he is going to take away everything, then then Bali Maharaj says that, if Vishnu himself come and ask for it, why wouldn't I give? That is the whole idea in the scripture, that one should do everything for the Supreme Lord. He said, I don't even have to go and do anything. The Supreme Lord came to my place and asking for something, why wouldn't I do it? Right? Even though he was born in the demoniac family, but also he was born in Prahlad Maharaj's family. What did Nrsingadev told Prahlad Maharaj? Your 21 generation coming and 21 past generation, they all are liberated. So Prahlad Maharaj's son also was very good devotee, Virochan. Who came as a Brahmana? Some demigod? Do you know the story of Virochan? Indra came? Indra came and asked for a beg from him, and he gave away everything. That's Bali Maharaj's father. And same thing, Bali Maharaj is also ready to give everything. So even though they are in demoniac family, they are very charitable. So one can see that it doesn't matter where one come from. Srila Prabhupada says that gold, you can find it from the trash. Still, the value of it is a gold. It's valuable. So they may have born in demoniac family, but they were very exalted, elevated souls. That they offered everything for the pleasure of the Lord. As a matter of fact, in 2 steps, Lord takes everything, and when the Lord says, where I am going to put the 3rd steps, even Prahlad Maharaj appear, and Prahlad Maharaj say, my dear grandson, you promised the 3 steps, you should give 3 steps. Even Prahlad Maharaj chastised him, why you are not giving 3rd steps? So we can see that how much the family is not ordinary family. Even though they fight, he was the head of the demoniac battalion, but still he was a devotee. So anyone has any question, any comment, any correction? Can you give?
Krishna. Even the purpose says, according to Brahminical culture, one should be content with whatever he obtains without special endeavor and should cultivate spiritual consciousness. So we're talking about everything is determined by our karma, right? It's like, in this situation, imagine you have a son is doing exams and say, well, okay, you study, don't study, depends on your karma, whatever. Which is, I don't think is correct. How is the endeavor is related to what we should do. Like, okay, we've got the karma, but we should still endeavor to do our things properly. I don't know, an exam or some material activities. Did I explain myself, Prabhu?
I don't know, I was not, this also making a loud noise about, okay, you understood what he was asking?
So Prabhu, what Prabhu is saying is, within the purport somewhere it says that, one should be satisfied with whatever comes according to his karma. So over and over or is not kind of required. So what Prabhu is saying is that, let's take an example that, my son, he has an exam, so whether he should study or not study, it does not make a difference, according to his karma he will get it. So, but that probably doesn't make sense because, effort is required in order to gain something. So how do we reconcile this?
Tell me, how do we reconcile?
It is also my question.
Well, the karma, what is karma means? It's a previous activity, right? Right? So you have an exam next week and this whole week you're just going to play around. So what are you going to do in next week? That's your previous karma. What do you think? Yeah.
I don't think anything.
You don't think anything? No, it's a, for example, you are eating banana, right? And you have a habit of throwing banana peels on the ground. And one day you slip and fall down. You made your own karma. So your karma means previous activity, doesn't mean it has to be previous life. When I was saying that from previous life you get three things. That is your birth, your partner and your death. But in between you have so many choices. It happened according to the karma, but it doesn't mean you don't have a choice. You also have so many choices. And when you do the wrong choice, you may get benefit or you may get punishment in the future. For example, you take some grains and you throw it on the ground, and if it rains, the different grain has a different time to fructify. Some fruits or vegetables, some vegetables are, only like 4 months, 6 months, 3 months. But some grains take longer. Some fruits take a lot longer. You plant a mango tree, when you get a mango? 16 years, yeah. It takes 15, 20 years, so it takes long time. So karma is like that. Some karma you get the result right away, some karma it may take time. So if there is an exam and if the student don't study, the result will not be a good result. So Srila Prabhupada said that, it's not that you don't do activity, but you should do activity according to the scripture, do proper activity. And as far as the providence is concerned, if you do the right thing or if you do at least the minimum activity to maintain yourself, that is enough, that required. Not that you just, that's why Prabhupada says that many times Prabhupada says we don't want crazies and lazies. Prabhupada said that. I remember when we built the Gauranga Hall, we were going from the old temple to the Gauranga Hall, and Jayapataka Maharaj was here that day. So Jayapataka Maharaj and my Guru Maharaj were walking there, and when we reached there, Jayapataka Maharaj was saying that I'll be right back, some phone call came or whatever. So he went there and my Guru Maharaj was looking at us, disciples, and he was saying, okay, so now we got this Gauranga Hall, what is next? So we were all kind of a little bit, we don't know what to say, He said that, so anyway, we said the temple, because we already were thinking about bigger temple, what we have here. So he said, yeah, this, temple. He said, yeah, temple is okay, temples, you are interested more. I think that we have a temple. But he said, I want restaurant. Because what happened that from his Guru Dakshina, whatever fund he had, he gave it to us to help with the Gauranga Hall. He said, I gave you money to build a Gauranga. No, he said, I gave you money to build a restaurant. You use it for Gauranga Hall. Of course, he told us to use it, but he said, you use it for Gauranga Hall, now you make sure you build me a restaurant. And then he said, then we were like kind of, oh, we are talking about building a temple, now he's talking about a restaurant, and then he said, yes, and we have to have some farm, we have to make a farm community. And then we were kind of like speechless, He said, don't think that I'm going to let you guys sit and enjoy all these things. You got to be working for Krishna always. So Srila Prabhupada was also always pushing his disciples to do more and more and more. So activities are there. It's not that, okay, well, this is my karma, so no activity. If my karma is go back to Godhead, I'll go back to Godhead. Why chant? Right? So we always have to do something, then why not? The Srila Prabhupada said we all have to go somewhere after life, after death. Where are we going to go? Why don't we have a proper activities where we can go to the better place? We can go back to Godhead, or at least we can have a Suchinam Srimatam Gehe, right? We can get a birth in a pious family, advanced family, or the rich family. So activity has to be there. We can give a result, we can leave it up to Krishna. But our activity should be proper, because if it is improper, then we can't go back to Godhead, or we can suffer in this material life also. Srila Prabhupada was saying, and he gave very nice story. We know all the story that what Prabhupada said. What was that story? Even I forgot that story about that one rat came to the one sadhu and he said, make me a cat because the cat is chasing me. Prabhupada said, the sadhu said, okay, so be it. So become a cat. Few days later, cat also came and said, the dog is chasing me. So sadhu said, what do you want now? Oh, make me a dog. So be it, so become a dog. Like, few days later he said, the tiger is chasing me. Said, okay, what do you want? Say, make me a tiger. They made a tiger, and then tiger was looking at the sadhu and said that, oh, tiger was saying prayer, Sarira Rabityacha. Tiger wants to eat sadhu, and sadhu say, Punarmusteka bhava. Right? You become a mouse again. So Srila Prabhupada's story, he was saying that you American, he was this 26-second even lecture, Prabhupada says that you Americans are very qualified materially speaking. And why? Because previously you had a good karma. But he said, if you misuse the karma, you don't know where you're going to take birth next life. It's amazing. The story is very simple, but how Prabhupada put it, that whatever we get in this life, we should understand that, yes, it is by Krishna's mercy, but if we misuse it, what's going to happen? It's going to happen a lot worse. So Prabhupada says that you may take a birth in Africa, where there is not enough thing to eat. He said, American birth means it's a very good birth, Prabhupada was explaining. But don't misuse it. Don't be like a tiger. So utilize properly. So we have to work, we have to do activity. Yes, Prabhu. Haribol, can you give microphone there?
Prabhuji, wonderful class and a very important topic this verse touches. It also reminds me that that law of providence actually made us to act in that way, for which it was written or for which we worked hard. So as you mentioned that many things we bring from previous birth. So people may think that, hey, if I have to earn so much money, let me sit in the corner and see whether money will come. But we don't have faith in that information. We will not do. We are saying, but we will not do that. Because the providence, but we did that, will not make us to sit like this. So it will act in that way that so that we reap the result of our karma. On the other hand, people may ask that how do I know that whether my endeavor I should continue or not? And Srila Prabhupada said that any activity you tried 6 times and not giving a result, you should accept it as a providence. Because you don't know. That memory is not there. So you tried 6 times any activity, does not give, then accept it as providence. The another perspective is that Bhagavad Gita talks about 5 subject matter. Atma, Paramatma, Prakriti, Kal and Karma. Jai Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhav ki Jai, Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai, Shri Shri Giri Govardhan ki Jai. So out of 5, 4 of them nobody can change. The 5th one, karma, can be changed. Only when we turn our attention towards the Lord, then karma can be nullified or can be changed of that. That's why Krishna says that sarv dharmam parityaje mamekam sharnam vaja aham tvam sarv papebhyo. Papebhyo means previous activity, he can nullify that. So karma can be changed if somebody has a bad karma. And Prabhupada says that we have to use we have to leverage the best bargain. This body is a best bargain. We have to use it, but how best in the service of the Lord. That way we can change our karma also. If let's say some bad activities is going on, it can be changed if we turn our attention. That's why Bhagavatam says that akama sarva kama moksha kama udharadi. Tivrena, if somebody is sakam bhakta also, the activity what he was trying to achieve, tivrena bhakti, with full force. If with the full force, without deviation, he turned attention to the Lord, actually that karma also can be changed.
Yeah. Anything else? Radha Krishna Prabhu, would like to say something? Anyone else has any question, any comment? Jai, Prasadam time. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki Jai, Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.